Hello, everyone. Dr. Victoria Skirbo here, speaking to you from the Seeds of Transformation Healing Center in Wareham, Massachusetts. So today I want to take a look at two important legal cases that are occurring simultaneously here in the U.S., um, which bring the issues that we have here in America um, to the forefront. One of them is the trial for the murder of um, Ahmad Aubrey, Ahmad Aubrey, um, who was shot and killed on February 23rd, 2020, um, not too far from his home in, I believe it was Brunswick, Georgia. Ahmad was born May 8th, 1994. And I have his numerology and his astrology and his Kabbalah that we're going to look at. And then we're also going to look at Kyle Rittenhouse, who is being, who is on trial for killing two protesters in Kenosha, Wisconsin. That shooting occurred August 25th of 2020. And he killed two people, Joseph Rosenbaum and Anthony Huber, both who died. He shot Joseph Rosenbaum 5 times, and I believe Huber with 1 shot. He had a AR-15 style semi-automatic rifle, and his mother had driven him to Kenosha with his rifle, crossed state lines. He's from Michigan, where he shot and killed 2 people and shot a third person. So, and these trials are happening simultaneously. Now, I'm not sure when they're going to come to fruition, like when things are going to wrap up. But we do have a very powerful full moon solar eclipse. Full moon lunar eclipse happening on the 19th of November, which is Friday of this week. I'm speaking to you on the 14th of November, which is a Sunday. So there are, what is being revealed through this process is both expected and still kind of shocking for many people. So I want to take a look to see how these two individuals at this time, and not so much whether, this isn't really about whether Kyle Rittenhouse is going to be found guilty or not guilty. He says that it was self-protection. That's not the word, but you know what I mean. And the trial for Arbery, I believe, is to determine whether the 3 people are guilty for his death who stopped him, shot him, and called the cops. So so let's take a look at these. We'll look at them together. We'll look at them separately, and then I want to look at their numerology and Kabbalah and see why these individuals are the individuals of the moment. What do they have to teach us about ourselves here in America and the situation that we find ourselves in at this very transformational time. We are in the midst of our Pluto return as a country. And there are many things that are coming up at this time that need resolution at a time when we are bitterly divided along party lines. So let's take a look at this. Hello. So the first one we're going to look at is Ahmad Aubrey. That is the first chart we're going to look at. So let's take a look. We're going to look at his numerology and Kabbalah, and then his astrology. So let's take a look. So the first thing I want to look at here is Ahmad Aubrey's numerology. And so, as always, we take his full name. He was born Ahmad Marquez Aubrey. He was born May 8th, 1994. We take the vowels of his name and we get his soul vibration. The soul vibration is the inner self. It is what the soul has been working on for multiple lifetimes. And he has a 27-9 vibration here. And this is the card associated with the 27-9. It is the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands. So somebody with the 9 soul, and your soul vibration is something that you need to stay in good relationship with. With a 27-9 soul, we have somebody who is very creative. We're dealing with wands here. This is the Ace of Fire, the Ace of Spirit. My guess would be that he had a deep spiritual connection. Now, it may not be a traditional spiritual connection, such as going to a church or something, but he himself, within himself, I think would have had access to that. His outer personality, which is his consonants, this is his outer self. So this would have been the way that, this is the Aubrey, the Ahmad that you would have met, right? On the street, just saying, hello, how you doing? That kind of thing. And we have an 11 vibration here, a 6511. That is this vibration. It is the King of Pentacles. So the King of Pentacles comes across generally as somebody who is just within their environment, sure of themselves, not particularly aggressive in any way. Really, it's not a negative vibration. It's a vibration of somebody. First of all, it's an 11, so it's a master number vibration. When you have one of the master numbers in your soul, your quiescent, or your expression vibration, it generally means that we're dealing with a sort of higher vibrational soul here. Somebody who perhaps could be a little bit more aware than somebody without the master number. When you have a master number, however, a lot is expected of you because you are a master. And so as an 11, this is somebody who liked being in relationships, was probably quite maybe not jovial in that this vibration is a Capricorn vibration, but perhaps somebody who was kind of serious-minded but fair. Okay, so these are his inner and outer self. So we have fire and we have earth. Now, in order to balance those things between him, we take these vibrations and we add them together. And we come up with an 11, which is this vibration here, justice. So for somebody with an 11 expression, and your expression is how you balance your inner and outer self, this would have to be somebody who understood cause and effect, understood what his actions may precipitate, and generally somebody who is more balanced and more aware of justice or things around justice. Now, as a young Black man, you really do have to be aware of your situation, especially, I believe, anywhere really, but it seems in the South, especially because of the history of the South. So this doesn't strike me as a particularly aggressive individual. This strikes me as somebody who kind of knew the rules that he had to play by. Now, his path of life, which is his birthday, May 8th, 1994, vibrates to a 36-9 vibration. Now, we have a 9, 11, and 11. 9 is the number of the healer, 9 is the number of forgiveness. 9 is the number of understanding. 9 is the number of humanity. 11 is the number of balance. Okay. So this 36-9 vibration is this vibration. It is the 10 of Wands. So this is somebody who has come in to understand the burdens that they have, perhaps how to unburden themselves. But this is somebody who has come in with a lot of burdens to carry, which I might say most people who are born with brown skin have more burdens to carry. I'm remembering back in the day when I was young and you would go to the airport or you would go to the train station and then all the porters would carry your bags. They were, as far as I remember, they were all Black. That was something that Black men could get as a job, porters and garbage men. So, you know, lifting heavy loads and sort of carrying things around for people, or disposing of things for people, right? So the only other vibration we haven't looked at in his major numbers is his shadow, which is right here, which is a 2911 vibration. Now, it's another 11 vibration. And so your shadow is what you've come in to heal in this lifetime. And this is the 2911 vibration. It is the 3 of, right? Looking whereas looking over the water, waiting for your ships to come in, So a couple of things I want to point out here. Down here is the blueprint. This is the divine triangle. Each one of these lines is a 9-year line. And so when Ahmad Aubrey was shot, he was 25 years old. So he was on this line right here. This line goes from age 18 to age 27. And if you notice his, this square, he has the 27-9, and there it is, right? 27-9, 27-9. When you have a 9 in this, what we call the youth square in numerology, there's usually indications of crime, right? Or having a crime perpetrated against you, okay? Over here, in which we can't really see that well, let me see if I can pull it back. I don't know. No, see, I didn't take a good picture. This vibration is the number we get from adding his month and his day of birth, which comes to a 13-4. And that path goes from age 0 to age 27. So we have this Ace of Wands vibration here. And we have the 13-4 vibration, which is the death card. Actually, let me find it here. I know I have it somewhere. I pulled it out. Okay, so this is a vibration that he was working with from age 18 to age 27, but also from the time of his birth until he turns 27, which unfortunately he never will, because he was killed. Now, I was watching a little bit of what was being said in the trial. And one of the things that struck me was that when they called his mother to let her know that her son was shot, they had told her that he was caught burglarizing, and that's why he was shot. However, when the police were talking about what happened, it was never, he wasn't actually burglarizing anything, even though that's what they told his mother. And so his mother was originally under the impression that it had been a burglary, but that is what they told her. And when they were under oath, they didn't say that because it was a lie. They actually lied to the mother. I would imagine so that the mother wouldn't question the fact that her son was shot. But of course, even if he had been doing that, every mother questions, right? Why their child has been taken away from them in such a violent way. So let's take a look at Ahmad's tree of life to see where all these vibrations fall. So let me pull that up. I believe this is him. Yes, so let's take a look here. So the tree of life is you can put on the tree of life different you can work with the tree of life in different ways. Today we're working with numerology. We could just as easily work with some astrology as tree of life. So here we have his soul vibration located in Kether. Kether means crown. It is at the top of the tree, the most powerful place on the tree. His quiescent, this is his outer personality, right? The Capricorn vibration that I spoke of is here in Hokmah. Hokmah is the place of wisdom. It's an 11, so it's a master number. And of course, associated with the King of Pentacles. The King of Pentacles knows their value and knows what they value. And it is located in Hokmah, the place of the Divine Father. We have over here his shadow vibration, the 2911. The shadow of the 2911, the 2911 as a shadow can sometimes mean that you're not aware of the light within you. When you have numbers in Bina, especially the shadow, you understand what it means to suffer. And so this is somebody who has had many lifetimes of suffering, perhaps 11 injustice. His quiescent, his expression, the 11-2 vibration, which is the justice card, is right here. It's also part of his quiescent vibration because he actually has a double 11 quiescent, which I didn't point out when we looked at his numerology. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4 11s, and we have 2 9s. In my estimation, as I would look at this chart, I might come to the conclusion that this is a very old soul who has come to perhaps teach us something. And of course, the 11 vibration is the vibration of the teacher. His path of life is down here in Malkuth. Now, the interesting thing about this is we will see that Kyle Rittenhouse also has a vibration down in Malkuth. Malkuth is the place of our physical reality. And often when you have numbers in Malkuth, which means kingdom, and it is associated with the root chakra, which is associated with the clan, like the family that you're born into. When you have a 36-9 path, you are learning how to have a broader perspective. It is a Sagittarius vibration. You are learning about forgiveness, but you also, as a 9, it is associated with crime. Either you could be a participant in the crime, or you could be a victim of the crime, or a little bit of both. Either way, right? Either way, you're understanding that 9 vibration. You are understanding the best in people and the worst in people. Now, Malkuth is associated with victims and victimizers. And so you have that experience within your life. It's part of your learning curve. Now, I would say anyone born with brown skin is learning, those lessons are pretty close to the bone. and it's not true of, not all brown skinned people have this, but you're much more likely to be around crime because of the way the culture, the opportunities that the brown folk get, and or the lack of opportunity, and so they make their own opportunities. And in many cases, now I don't believe that this was Ahmad Aubrey's necessarily his experience, but it is the experience of many Black men. And you would have to, considering that most incarcerated people are Black or brown men. So whether you're a victimizer or a victim, you know both ends of the story. And no, in my estimation, no victimizer hasn't been victimized. Otherwise, they wouldn't be in that situation on some level. Okay. I'm trying to do this in such a way that I don't want to seem like I'm judging a race of people or any of that, but these are the vibrations, these are the numbers, and this is the life that I am assuming that he's lived. Now, I don't know a lot about his personal life, but I do know that he was the victim of a crime. I do know, being born Black, you have burdens that those who are not born Black do not necessarily have or understand. And I do know that when you're faced with those kinds of situations, that really very often your only option is to learn to forgive in order for you to live in any way that you don't have your situation eating away at you. Okay, so interestingly enough, the death card, the 13-4 vibration, is right here. Okay, this is where the 13-4 is. This is a Scorpio vibration. And he's in that vibration from 2012 to 2021, because he didn't make it to 2021. And then also from age 0 to age 27. So this the death path, transformation, death and rebirth, hanging over him, or he was in that vibration for his entire life on some level. So the day that he was shot, which was the 23rd of February 2020, was a 2911 vibration. And that is the vibration of his soul. Now, Bina is associated with the planet Saturn. Okay. So we'll look at his astrological chart, or the chart I have. We can see if there's any indication there. But he was, the vibe he was in, his personal year vibration was a 7 vibration. It was a 25-7. And the 25-7 is this vibration. So this is the vibration that he was in the year that, his personal vibration, the year that he was killed. And also, let me see here. Yeah, 25-7. And it's interesting because this is the night that's on the road, right? The night that's moving. And he was on the road, and he was actually killed on the road. So so I thought that was morbidly interesting, really. Okay, so let's take a look at Ahmad's astrology. Mm, I don't know if this is him or not. Hold on. Nope, this is Rittenhouse. Yep. Okay, so this is a chart for Ahmad, and we don't have a time of birth. We do have a day of birth and a town where he lived. So that's what I'm going by. It would be so much better if, and we'd have a deeper understanding perhaps, if we could actually get accurate birth information on these folks. But unfortunately, that's getting harder and harder to do. So we have here somebody who was a Taurus. Here's his Taurus sun. He had Mercury in Taurus, and Moon can reign. Let me see this in the morning. So his moon would have been anywhere from 19 degrees of Aries to, I believe, 1 degree of Taurus. Yes. So Aries moon. Now, most likely had an Aries moon. With that Aries moon, and let me find his chart again. Sorry about this, guys. Okay. With that Aries moon, his moon and sun relationship is a balsamic phase. This is somebody who there's a lot of karma to wrap up. When you have a balsamic moon, your life really is, the people that you meet, generally people that you've known before, and you can, that are sort of a tying up of karmic loose ends, okay? It really is, your lifetime is about extracting meaning and looking toward the future while releasing the past. And it is a Pisces energy, so it really is about forgiveness and letting go, okay? And of course, he has all those nines in his chart. So his life really is about letting go. And we can also see that in his North Node conjunct Pluto in Scorpio. He came in to learn the lessons, to show us, to a certain extent, how to let go, how to let go. He was also born at a time when Neptune and Uranus were in a close conjunction. They had just made a conjunction back in 1993 in the sign of Capricorn. And we can see that Uranus is at 26 degrees of Capricorn, is very close conjunction, as is Neptune, to the Pluto of the United States. If we were to overlay the United States over this chart, his Pluto would be right here, okay? So this Neptune-Uranus conjunction, with Uranus moving away from Neptune, right? Moving away, is a new phase. So this is about a new evolutionary urge. So he came in with this new evolutionary urge with Neptune and Uranus in Capricorn. It is the deconstruction of the structures of power. Now, the full moon that is going to occur on Friday is actually right on his Pluto, his South Node, his North Node, and his Mercury. So I think we're going to hear what is going to happen with this. And this is going to be very much it could very easily be a a catalyst for a great outpouring of emotional grief, pain, and let's just say whatever is decided is going to create a lot of transformation. A lot of transformation. So what I would like to do here is I'm going to put the eclipse that's coming up right over Ahmad's chart. So here we have Ahmad's Ahmed. I'm sorry. I know I'm not saying it right. Ahmad's chart here, and this is the eclipse. We can see the sun illuminating Pluto here, right? Also the north node of the moon. Mercury is on the north node of the moon. Mars is in Scorpio, exactly opposite Uranus here, but right on his Vesta. This is a focus on values, a focus on values. And here we have Pluto making a conjunction to his Neptune and his Uranus. In fact, Pluto is probably right about on the midpoint of this. So this situation, this death, this this legal case is sort of in its way propelling evolution for further breaking down of the patriarchal power over few at the top, many at the bottom, uneven, money makes right, poverty, you're a criminal, all of that sort of pyramidal energy of how our society is structured. Pluto is coming in there and activating that in his chart. So this is a moment where we have an opportunity to, in fact, really change something. And whether what happens in the trial actually changes it, or if what happens in the chart creates the chaos that will ultimately change it, I can't say necessarily from this. But I do know that this is a very, very important, an important point that we're at. Now, remember I said that his shadow was in Bina. Bina is associated with Saturn. He has his Saturn in Pisces. Saturn in Pisces can be coming in for a spiritual reason, right? Saturn, all you people with Saturn and Pisces have come in to bring something spiritual to the earth, to embed the light of spirit onto the planet. And here we have Pallas Athena, the goddess of social justice, sitting on Saturn. Hopefully, this means that we will have justice in this case. All right, so that's what I want to say about this. So this case, probably even more than the Rittenhouse case, is actually, in a way, a little bit more important. Well, I don't know, they're both important because there's issues here on both sides, right? But this one really does sort of bring this, you know, modern day lynching to the forefront for us to examine it and see that, you know, on a certain level, that stuff hasn't really gone away. It's just sort of changed form. Okay, so that's what I want to see here. One more thing, I think, let's take a look, and I don't actually know if I looked at this before I got on with you, but I'd like to take a look at, hopefully it's not too upsetting for people, the date that he was shot. So let's take a look at that. So this is the day that Ahmad Aubrey was shot. Now, according to Wiki or whatever, I think it was Wiki, they said shortly after 1 p.m. on the 23rd of February, he was shot. So I put it at 1:05. So the time may be a little bit off, but for all intents and purposes, we'll certainly see some things here. First of all, we look at Venus here, Venus in Aries, almost exactly conjunct really his Mars. This is, Venus is our values. Venus is our values. And of course, Mars deals with violence, okay? We also have Uranus on his black moon Lilith, although I'm not exactly sure, save that this can be a expression of the divine feminine. He did have his shadow in the place of the divine feminine. So it's sort of a waking up of that. We have, of course, we have Pluto here, again, very close to where it is right now as the trial face the trial. Saturn is at 2732 of Capricorn, which is actually on Pluto, almost exactly, actually, on the Pluto of the US. I think the Pluto of the US is 2733, maybe. So, so that's very, very significant. So it's sort of a testing of the structures of power, right? And it can also be, in a case, because he was shot here, an abuse of power. But look here, we have Mercury in Pisces retrograde on his Saturn. And then now we have Pallas Athena there, right? So this is giving voice. I feel as though, and hopefully this doesn't upset anybody, but it looks to me like Ahmad Aubrey came in to a certain extent as a sacrifice. He as a soul said, I will live this life and sacrifice myself so that others can be free. That's what it feels like to me. So that's what I want to say about this. And we will see what happens with the actual trial and what happens afterwards. So now we're going to take a look at Kyle Rittenhouse. So at the same time as we have the Ahmad Aubrey trial, we also at the same time have a trial for Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, I do not know if Kyle has a middle name. I couldn't find one. So we're just going to go with the information that's available to us. And we do have a date of birth, but of course we don't. So Kyle was born January 3rd, 2003 in Antioch, Michigan. And I have his name as Kyle Rittenhouse. Now, when we look at his soul vibration, we have a 40/4 vibration right here. This is actually a Pisces vibration. This is a Pisces vibration. And it is a 4. And 4 is generally chaos, not chaos, sorry. That's usually 5. Crisis. His outer personality. So this is his inner feminine. Now, I want to talk about the inner feminine as it applies to men and women. Generally, women are very much connected to their inner feminine, their internal self. Men, however, are generally less familiar with their inner self, simply because they are not socialized in that way. They are not asked to look within, especially if they're being sort of led in the direction of like soldier, right? Because soldier, if they got into their inner self, because your soul really is like you're sensitive, it's like your soft inner core, and it's hard to connect to that soft inner core, no matter what the vibration is, and not feel, because the soul is our feeling. It's our feeling. And this is a child, and he is a child, with a 40/4 as his soul, which is a very, very sensitive vibration. It's a Pisces vibration. He may or may not be aware of that at this point in his life, because he still is young and he is a man, and it seems like he was raised to be a man's man, okay, with guns and all that stuff. So that I want to say that his outer personality is a 32/5 vibration. This is a vibration of freedom. So an outer personality for a man or a male is something that they do understand, the outer self, how they put themselves out there. What it's like Marshall, right? What kind of energy are you putting out there? Well, 5 is about freedom. And it is also the vibration of the path of life of America, right? But it's also the shadow of America. And so in the American chart, the path of life and the shadow are the same, which says to us, we have come in, this incarnation of the energy of America is to heal that. And it's freedom, but what cost? And who's free, and who gets freedom, and who doesn't have freedom, okay? And so he really represents this, cry of freedom, but also he represents the dark side of that in his numbers. When you add these two vibrations together, we get a 72/9 vibration, which is the 4 of Pentacles. That's the one holding the pentacle over his heart, right? Where possessions, okay, let me pull it up. Let me see if I can find it. Where possessions are more important than what's under there, which is his heart, right? So he did shoot people because they were what was seen as starting fires, or well, they were protesting, but he saw them as people who were rioters and destruction of property. That was like, he was there to protect that. So we can see that as his expression vibration, how he expresses himself, right? He would see that. Now the 40/4 here is very sensitive, but Pisces also has a tendency to fall into the genre of victim. They feel victimized. They feel like they're so you have somebody who's feeling victimized at the core of who he is, right? He feels like a victim. And then we have his outer personality as, I can do what the hell I want because I'm an American and it's my right to have a gun. We could say that. And then here we have the expression of that being having things be more important than the life of another human being. Okay. His path of life is a 9. And 9 is the hermit. 9 is about forgiveness. 9 is about understanding, and 9 is about healing. This is a Virgo vibration. Now let me see if I can, I pulled out his cards. Let me find them here. Oh dear, I just dropped them on the floor. All right, hold on one second. I got him here. So this is his path. Okay, this is his path. So his path of life is to show, to shine a light on something. So he's really here to shine a light on something. This is his soul vibration, right? The young boy here, the young child. This is his outer personality, victory. Victory at any cost, or victory at what cost? His shadow here is the 20/2. This is associated with Pluto, this vibration, and it is this card, right? Angel Gabriel blowing the horn, people rising from the dead. This is about understanding that there is something beyond the physical environment, that there is a spiritual connection that we have. And this is his shadow. So this is where he is blocked. He is blocked there. Okay, so in 2021, so in 2020, he was in an 8 vibration. On his birthday, he moved into an 8 vibration. At the time of when he shot the 3 people, 2 of who died, he was in a 13/4 vibration. And if you remember from Ahmad Aubrey's, that is the death card, right? 8 is also a vibration of karma, and we have death here, right? As you sow, so shall you reap, and here we have death. Whether he is found not guilty by reason of self-protection, self-defense, sorry, which is likely, he is been changed, and he will never be the same. Even if he comes out of this a free boy or man, he will really never quite be free, will he? In 2021, which is now, he's in a 9 vibration. That's his path of life. So he's in a 9. He has a 9 path of life. As we go into this trial, he is in a 9 year. And now from September until his birthday in January, which of course we will probably know within the week what happens with him, he's in a 9. So we have 3 9s here. So this is the wrapping up of a cycle. And then in 22, he goes into a 10/1 vibration, which is, you know, if you're at the top, you go to the bottom. If you're at the bottom, you go to the top. It's the cyclical change. And so things will change abruptly for him in 2022 as he goes into his 19th year of life. Okay. From age 18 to age 27. Now, when he was in the, when he shot those 2 men, he was in a 25/7 vibration, which if you remember from Ahmad's reading, it's the Knight of Wands, right? The Knight of Wands. His mother drove him, went to the road, right? Where he killed and injured. At 18, which he just turned this year, he moves into a 12/3 vibration, and that is this vibration, and he's there till he's 27. So for the next 9 years, he will not have a lot of agency, but will be required to look at life from a different perspective. Honestly, I feel like he is not a mature. He's not a mature individual. He's a child. Is he responsible for his actions? Yes. Is it completely his responsibility? I would question his parents on that, because who wanted to go with his AK-47 or whatever the hell gun that was, you know, to protect Kenosha from rioters and whatever. I would say not on your life, buddy. And I would put a lock on the cabinet because you have to, I guess, have a lock on those cabinets. And I would drive him to the movies and go with him so he couldn't go anywhere. That's what I would do. That's me. I'm not from Michigan. Anyway, and I'm sorry, Michigan, I didn't mean to say that. But you know what I mean, right? That's not my thing. All right. So I think we have to question the parents here. We have to question the parents here. So so let's take a look at his Kabbalah. And we'll also look at his chart as well. So let me, we're going to do a new share here, and hopefully I can find his Kabbalah. I think this is him. All right. Is this him? Yes. So here we have Kyle. His soul vibration is here in Malkuth. Do you remember what I said about Malkuth, place of victimizers and victims? Incidentally, his soul vibration is the same as Trump's path of life. So we could see how Trump's like rhetoric about these people who are coming in and destroying property because they're Antifa or whoever they were saying they were, would light up this boy's soul. Here's his quiescent, the 32/5 in Tippereth. This is associated with childhood. The year that he killed the two people when he was 17, he was in a 25/7 vibration, also located in the heart chakra. That's the Knight of Wands. Here is his path of life, and here is his expression. And so for him, it's really, in a way, learning to utilize his knowledge base to really understand what it is to be free. And while he may be free, assuming that he gets off, and it seems like he probably will because the judge seems very biased. They're beating up the prosecution and allowing things for the defendant that we'll just say Ahmad Aubrey would never get. We'll just say that. Okay. So there is he might be free physically, but he will not be free in his heart. And it's part of his journey and part of his path to understand this. Here is his shadow right here. This is the Pluto. It connects the mind with the physical realm. This is Mercury, place of the mind. Quite frankly, he doesn't seem like, I mean, it's extenuating circumstances. The kid is under a lot of pressure. I don't think we can understand the type of pressure that this child is under. And perhaps that's one of the reasons why the judge is so kind of protective of him. And I also think that's why the defense wanted him to go up on the stand to show people just how fragile this kid is. But you still, no matter how fragile you are, justice must matter, right? So I don't think that this kid is all that stable, actually, to begin with. So let's take a look at his chart. Now, again, we have a chart of somebody we do not have an accurate birth time for. So let me just find him, because I know this isn't him. That's now I'm looking for Kyle, and I keep getting Ahmad coming up. All right, so I want to do the noon chart here. All right, I have a noon chart here. Oh, wait a minute. First of all, he wasn't born in Kenosha. Here we go. Is this it? Noon. Okay, this is the chart I want. So a couple things. We don't have an accurate birth time here, so I use a noon chart, and it said that noon charts reflect how the person is seen in the full light of day, right? And so from the outside looking in, what do we see? Well, what's at the top of his chart is Chiron. Chiron in Capricorn, conjunct his MC here, but conjunct his sun. So here we have an illumination around the wounding that occurs through this sort of more patriarchal mindset, right? White supremacy, perhaps. And you can see white supremacy in here. He has his Pluto in Sagittarius. Pluto in Sagittarius as a generation is a generation that comes in that feels as if they know it all. And because Sagittarius is a very freedom-loving sign, they feel like they have the right to pretty much do what they want. Now, this isn't all, this is just, it's Sagittarius. And do these children know stuff? Yes, they do. Do they have the maturity to express it? Perhaps not. Okay. Opposite that, we have Saturn. This is law, right? This is law. And so it's going to be interesting to see when this comes down, what exactly that is going to mean. He does have Jupiter in Leo, so he does have a certain sense of Jupiter in Leo, especially for Pluto in Sagittarius, because the Pluto in Sagittarius is disposited by Jupiter in Leo. Jupiter in Leo is entitlement, and it's opposite widely, but still opposite Neptune. So this can be delusional entitlement here, okay? He has his Uranus in Aquarius here. This is actually conjunct, oh, wait a minute, this is actually conjunct the United States moon in the Sibley chart. He has a sun and moon in Capricorn, and it's either it's good if it's not in Capricorn, it's 1 degree of Taurus. So that's if he's born like at the very, very last minute of the day, right? But I'm thinking he probably has a Capricorn moon. And he has Mercury in Capricorn stationary, and this sits right on the United States Pluto. So we can see in both cases how this into the whole Pluto return situation. So what I would say, whereas Aubrey had that moon, it was Taurus, right? Sun and moon in Taurus. Or no, his moon might have been in Aries, right? So Aries. But he had a balsamic. So it was about letting go and meaning, and this kid has it in a new phase. So new phase has more of an airy quality to it, airy and very impulsive. There's an impulsiveness here. So we can see how this kid could possibly get in the situation that he's in. Plus, I'm always going to ask in these situations, or I'm going to ask in this situation, maybe not always, but certainly in his situation, how is this kid parented? I mean, all of this Capricorn is hard when you're young, especially when you have Chiron there, because you're not mature enough. And so he needed direction, and he needed, I think, somebody to perhaps put the brakes on him and ceding him his right. I mean, this is my own personal thing about guns. If you live in an area where, like, you have to hunt, or you're on a farm and there are, bears and other animals, coyotes trying to, like, eat your herd, it's good to have a gun. If you live in a high crime area, it's probably a good thing to have a gun, right? But machine guns in the hands of a 17-year-old at a place where people are what's the word? Oh my God, you know what I mean. They're out there saying, no, you shouldn't do this. Protesting. This is America. It's our right to protest and not get shot. It's bad enough we get shot, peaceful protesters get shot by the police and abused by the police. Now we have to deal with these other people who are young and dumb and armed to the teeth. So let's take a look at this. I want to take a look at him with the eclipse coming up. So just give me a moment here. Okay, so one of the things I didn't point out about Carl's chart is this here. He has Mars and Venus conjunct in Scorpio. This can be someone who bends towards revenge. It is in a new phase to each other. So there's an impulsivity here. And Scorpio is about getting even in its lower vibration. So on the day of the eclipse, on Friday, we have Mercury conjunct Mars. Remember, Mars also deals with guns. We have Mercury conjunct Mars. We have the Sun on his Venus, and we have Venus on his Sun. We also have Saturn on Neptune. So we see a lot of connections here. So my idea about this, and we have Jupiter on his Pallas Athena and Uranus. This so what I see here is that he is going to get off. He has Venus on his Sun. He has the Sun on Venus. He has Mercury on Mars. His making a statement about the right to protect yourself, even though that's not exactly what he did. Or maybe that's what he did, and maybe he shouldn't have ever been in that situation, but he was. And then with Jupiter conjunct Uranus and Pallas Athena here, social justice, I feel like this is going to create a more protests. And this opposition, this eclipse is a South Node eclipse, and the moon is conjunct the fixed star Algol, which is about losing your head. So I feel as though Aubrey and Rittenhouse, it may come down around this eclipse, and it's going to create a tsunami of reaction. It's like the light, it's like the match lighting the tinderbox. So that being said, we have to really do our best to take what is happening and do our best not to get emotionally overwrought by the whole thing, because both Ahmad, Aubrey, and Kyle Rittenhouse, in their own way, are showing us what needs to change. And they have chosen as souls to do that. And we have one confused, scared, guided person and alive. And we have one beautiful soul that is not. Both have had their lives changed in shift process to show us something about ourselves. And so we need to hold the space for both Ahmad's family, for Kyle Rittenhouse, and for all of us to remember that we are really all in this together. So I hope that you find this interesting. I find it fascinating and sad, and hopefully ultimately redeeming for all of us all. So I'm going to leave you with that. Have yourself a great day. Like and subscribe. Hold the light. Shine your light. Don't get caught up in, I mean, you can be angry, but let that energy, anger is purpose unfocused. It's like the need to do something. So take that you're going to feel, and utilize it in a way that's going to be helpful, and not particularly destructive. Okay, much love, everyone. Many blessings.